Welcome to the Save Par Golf Podcast, where two average golfers talk about golf and things. I'm your host, Eric.
Do you always do that with your arm?
Yeah,
Or
it's
you always like fling
something
it
I
out?
gotta do. Something I
What
gotta
the hell is that?
do. This is Dom Dom. We are currently on episode 123, and we are happy to be joined by Tony with Radry Golf. He's described as his brand as an art project disguised as a golf brand. Make sure to give him a follow on Instagram. The handle is at Radry Golf. That's RADRYGOLF. Tony, thanks so much for joining us on the podcast.
Yeah, appreciate you guys having me.
Absolutely. Obviously, it's Masters Week, which is an exciting week for most golf fans. So before we kind of deep dive into to learning more about your brand and your story, do you have a favorite that you think is going to win this week?
I just hope everyone has fun. No, I don't know. I don't have like a favorite. Obviously, Tiger is that would be fantastic. But
Is
I
that
just
who
hope
this
it's
guy
close.
is on my shirt?
Yep, that's him.
97.
Because
Yeah, ever
because
heard of
then
it?
there's this white
What's
dude.
his name? The old caddy, the old
Yeah,
mustache. Yeah,
Blue
Oof.
yeah,
Bones.
yeah,
There he is.
yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't even born yet. Not
Just
Really?
a
Wow.
baby. Just a
no, yeah,
baby.
that's like a legitimate like fact is I wasn't born at this point in 97.
Sad. Missed a lot of his good
That's
history right
crazy.
there.
That's why I'm not a big Tiger guy.
Yeah.
You missed the golden era of golf.
You can
Sorry,
blame my
sorry to hear that.
parents.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously Tiger would be sweet. Who else do you think would you like to see win if it wasn't Tiger?
Bubba.
I'm a big Bubba
Honestly,
guy.
I just want it close. That's all I want. I want, coming down the stretch and some balls in the water, make it interesting. I don't know, just some excitement. I really don't care who wins other than Tiger. So
I would kind of like to see Brooks do it after his like run last year, all the way through the final day. It'd be kind of cool to see Brooks win it. That and I want somebody on Live to win it, just to like watch the entire golf world just like burn down.
Or like a Scotty Brooks showdown would be pretty dope too.
Even like a
yeah,
Phil Brooks.
Yeah, if Phil could, yeah, Phil's been kind of
I am here for all the live popcorn. That is for sure. So
yeah, for sure. Well, again, thank you so much for taking the time and joining us on the podcast. We were talking about before we hopped on. We're really excited about this episode.
This might be our most festive in terms of being dressed. So like I texted
Rocking,
Derek this morning. I was like, you got to wear something
rocking
Masters related.
Masters, yeah, Masters.
So I got my shirt. Thanks, Chris from Tee Up Kicks with Chris.
Um, yeah. So
you guys
we're
didn't let me know. So now I feel out of the
I know.
loop. Way
I
to
mean, you
go.
got you got like a green painting
You
behind
got the
you.
you got the green and gold golden tee in the backdrop. So your backdrop
Yeah,
is way better
Okay.
than ours.
that's
Trust me.
all
And
you
All
need.
right. That's fair. Thanks for hyping me up.
uh,
Appreciate it.
so can you share your journey into the world of golf and how you found your niche in golf apparel, accessories, and art?
Sure. So Radry was just kind of a natural progression of my life at the time. So if you go back to the beginning, I graduated college with like a design degree. I knew I was going to be in the art graphic design space in some shape or form. Had no idea it was going to be apparel, but graduated college. And at the time I played mostly baseball. As you guys are Midwestern boys, you know that the weather window of playing outdoor sports is really, really tiny. And
Yeah,
so
very
I
simple.
just, yeah,
Like
very
that.
tiny. Yeah. And I just had to make a decision early on that it was like baseball or golf. I love golf. I've always played it my whole life, but I knew I could play golf if I was lucky enough, after my baseball career. So I played a lot of baseball early on. And when I graduated college, I just kind of had this like stars aligning, almost like the eclipse moment, where I was watching a Brewer game and I was noticing all the fans in the crowd were wearing, just ugly corporate Brewers like apparel.
Mhm.
And I was searching for some Brewers stuff at the time and I just hated everything I saw. And so it was like this aha moment where I'm like, is there a lifestyle brand that exists for baseball players? Which is what I identify as. I was um, wearing mostly skate brands at the time, like Hurley, Quicksilver. I'm dating myself here a little bit, but I've never touched a skateboard in my life, so I always felt a little weird wearing these brands, but these were like the cool ones. And so I quick did some Google searching, and there was nothing that existed for a baseball like cool lifestyle brand, and so I quickly made a couple T-shirts, and I hit up my buddy who was a business major. I'm like, what are your thoughts on this? Should we kind of run with this? And he thought it was a great idea. So We classic, basement story where we started with a couple t-shirts, launched that brand. It was called Routine Baseball back in 2011 in his basement. And it kind of blew up. Bryce Harper came into the league shortly after we started, and he like wore our shirt on TV in an interview. And it was just
Wow, that's
like,
really cool.
yeah, it was like a rocket ship after that. So we ended up going from a basement to like hiring like three of our friends, and we ended up like in a big warehouse in Milwaukee. We ended up doing a collaboration with Adidas. We did 2 shoes. We were licensed with the MLBPA, so then we could work with players in the league and make apparel for them. I had clothing at Miller Park, which is like a dream come true.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so then 7 years into that, I hung up the cleats, started playing a lot more golf, and my brain just naturally, progressed into the golf space, and I was losing the creative flame a little bit in the baseball world. So I just made the decision to leave all of that and go start Radry, and so I did. That was back in 2018. And yeah, just kind of want to do something similar to what I was already doing, but in golf, just because that's where my new passion was kind of took me. So
What inspires your designs, and where did you come up with the logo? So just love the logo.
yeah, so I mean, what inspires my designs?
It's kind of
There's a
a
lot of
it's a,
things.
yeah, it's kind of a
It's a
loaded
loaded one.
question. Yeah, for sure.
Um, I have every night I peruse Pinterest is like my
You go
savior.
to.
Yeah, I used to like take pictures of things that would inspire me, and then it would just get lost in the camera roll. So I just like really had to stay focused and organize all of these ideas because there's quite a few. But yeah, Pinterest is huge for storing my ideas. I have like a bunch of private boards that like zipper pulls as an entire board by itself, and like it gets pretty deep down the
Pretty
rabbit
in
hole.
depth of yeah.
Yeah. My kids are a huge inspiration. Once I had kids, just the creative mind that a child has is bonkers to me. Just their freedom in the way they create without, they don't worry about the lines, coloring in the lines. They don't, they create a person with 8 legs because they want to. Like that freedom of creativity is just super inspiring to me. So shout out to my kids.
That's really cool, actually. I like it because you're so right. There isn't really a way, like you said, like they can be out of the lines and it's okay. They're happy with that. Like it actually, that's art. That looks cool.
Yeah. I forget what the
It's
famous quote is. It's like a child spends its lifetime trying to be an artist, and an artist spends its lifetime trying to paint like a child. Or I butchered that, but it's something along
so
those lines.
I'm picking up what you're putting down for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Um, and then there's just like, the day to day. I think there's someone put intentional observation, I think is the way they put it, where inspiration is literally everywhere. I have pictures on my phone from like a truck stop bathroom where there was like graffiti and then someone painted over it, and then like the door of the stall is like a different color than the rest of the stall because someone broke it at one point. But it's like beige, and then it's like navy, and the door is maroon, and it's just super dope. And you take a picture, and you have a color palette of inspiration that was in this truck stop bathroom.
You know
um
who broke that door down? It was Seabass from Dumb and Dumber. That's who broke that door down. That's what reminded me of the truck stop bathroom. But it's so
yeah,
cool though.
yeah. So I mean, if you are just purposely looking for inspiration, you'll find it in everywhere you look. So
Sure.
I try to make that a point. And then when it comes to just like the branding, um, I had like a checklist of things that it needed to accomplish just from like my previous experience at my last brand. It needed to be simple enough to embroider really small. So I wanted it nice and clean and simple. Um, I wanted it to kind of have a character-ish look to it. Smiley faces are just kind of, they bring me joy when I see them. So I want to kind of like riff off of that. And it could be a character of some kind down the line. And I wanted the name really short. Just I always wanted like a really short domain name and things like that, which
Mhm.
brings me to the next checklist, which was to make up a word. So at Routine, we spent a lot of money in trademark battles because we were, super naive kids when we started it. No idea what trademarking was, anything like that. Found out very quickly all about that world. And so I wanted to sort of just create a word that didn't exist to make all of that super easy. So that was kind of like a business decision, but it also needed to have a cool backstory that made sense for the brand itself. So the logo, it's got this circle, square eyes, so it's birdie bogey, and then the mouth is kind of like this up and down wavy mouth where it's all about the emotional roller coaster you go on when you are golfing. And it's a mentality of going to the course and understanding that you're going to have bad shots, but you're also going to have good shots. And if you let the bad shots sort of ruin the good ones, how are you ever supposed to just enjoy this game, which is the whole point of it? So it's when you hit a good shot, it's give yourself a pat on the back. You got to celebrate those things, but understand that when you have a bad shot, you look at it more as an opportunity to grow, learn something from it, and become a better golfer at the end of the day. So it's not looking at bad shots as bad shots, but more as opportunities. So then the name sort of plays on that. It's a combination of two Scottish slang terms. One is Raj, Radge. I'm probably butchering this, but which is somebody that's kind of like raging, going crazy. And then the word Barry, Barry, which is like the opposite. It's like somebody who's happy, having a good time. So it plays on this emotional roller coaster, this battle throughout your round.
That's so cool.
And so yeah, that's how I came with Radry.
I could never be a designer. Like hearing all like the backstory and like all the like the detail. Like obviously I knew the circle, the square, the squiggly line. I
Yep.
just thought dope
It's
face.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's put it in there. But there's so much more to the story, which is
And
really,
that's
really
what I wanted. Like if you didn't know the story and you looked at it and you thought it was cool, then it did its job. It gives
yep.
me an opportunity to then tell the story, and then there's another layer that is unlocked.
Well
Did you
done.
name the face? Like, does he have a name?
I think Radry is, to me at least, it sounds like it could be a name. Like maybe the Smiley's name is Radry. Like
Because
it's kind of,
I feel
it's not
like
like a manly name or a feminine name. It's just,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like he's like a Sven.
Sven?
Sven, yeah.
I'll have to buy that domain and have it redirect to
He's looking it
Radry.
up right now.
I don't even know where I would
That,
start.
that's so cool. Like I said, I love that. I mean, we've had so many guests on, and like, there's always a story behind the brand. But you know, you talked about the first business that you started, and you clearly learned a lot from what you did from the
Yeah.
baseball company. So a lot of thought and went into this company, and I think it's just so neat how again something so simple with the name. You know how like I that was one of my questions is like where did the name come from, because I really wasn't sure the like we were talking about before. It was like rad is like it's rad. You think of like more like you're talking about like skater brand things like that. That's more like that's a rad hat. So like that was
Yeah.
more like where I was coming from, but or my
Mhm.
understanding. But after learning here, the two names combined, that's really cool.
Yeah. Thank you.
Um, were you gonna ask one more question before? And I kind of was when I asked that question, I didn't want to
No,
ruin your
I
train
just
of
I
thought.
just don't think I could be a designer anymore. Like if you it's like I've like designed like shoes that I want like custom painted and stuff. And it's literally just like 10 million thoughts scribbled on my tablet on the picture. And then when I send it off, he's like, "No, that's dumb." I was like, "Thanks." So now I have to like design a new one for the Minnesota Shindig, and I'm like, no idea where to even start. So I could never do it. It's just unreal.
I
Let's
think you
see.
can design, but I think like it's like you're not only designing it, he came up with like the whole like business plan, all this stuff like in one. You know what I mean? Where I think like you're a good designer. It's just he
It
just took
sounds
it
like
to
you were
another
designing
level.
something for somebody, right?
No, it's for me.
Yeah,
Oh, well, then what's wrong with it? You can't let someone else's
Too many
opinion.
thoughts.
I don't know. Sounds dope
Dude,
to
you
me.
don't
If
want to
you
know what's
like
going
it,
on up in
if you
here.
like it, then it is successful. That's all that
You
That's a
matters.
good point. If you like,
you don't want to know what's going on up in here.
um, so kind of go back to the original company that you started. Are there like some like common misconceptions that like people have about golf fashion? Like for example, some companies are different. They're all about like just trying to screen print something and push it out and sell thousands of shirts, right? Is there like a common misconception that in the golf space with fashion itself?
Um, I don't know. I think it's just really difficult. So like if you see, there's tons of brands obviously that have
Hmm.
popped up over the years. And if
Yeah.
you see a brand that's just like pumping out screen printed tees, a lot of times it's not because they're incapable of doing more. It's they're probably bootstrapping it and knowing the business side of building a brand, it's really expensive. If you want to do cut and sew pieces, there are high minimums. You have to understand the factory world and all of that stuff, how to build tech packs, and there's just a huge learning curve. And so, I mean, if you see some young brands that are just doing t-shirts, like who knows? They might be incredible designers wanting to do more, and they just might be stuck because of the business side of things, which is kind of where Radry was at for a while. I just started with t-shirts and hats because I literally had to, and now I'm thankful enough to be in the position to where I can handle some minimums, and now I'm doing like getting into some cut and sew pieces, and now I'm really going to be showing off my creative side even more within fabrics and cuts and all that stuff. But yeah, it just takes a long time. It's a grind, and unless you have an investor of some kind or whatever, they can put on a rocket ship. But
Sure.
yeah,
And you're doing most of it kind of all on your own for the most part, right? Is everything kind of, do you have like
yeah,
a
it's
team?
just me.
Just you. Okay.
Nope.
So I definitely want to continue talking about more about the apparel side, but you obviously have a really cool website. I love the design, the way it looks. But you have art pieces as well. My favorite is the slow play piece. Do you get a lot of requests for like original pieces? And then do you plan on doing any more? Are you going to release any other art pieces in the near future? Oh, I think we lost him.
I think that answers our question.
I don't think so. I think
I don't think he's gonna release anymore.
I don't know. Well, little
Well,
technical difficulty, but
and since I'm bad at editing, I'm just gonna stay in.
here we go.
Um, oh
Oh,
He's
is it
back.
me? Is it
yeah,
my internet?
yeah, because at one point I was watching and I almost got up and walked away because the audio and you talking wasn't
It
synced
just like
and
yeah,
it
it was just
bugged the
Oh
living
my
hell
God.
out of me. And I'm just like, do I leave?
we're
Well,
all good here,
my
but we're all good. We can see you just fine now.
okay, because like we
Yeah.
we just got a new router at the office, and it says I'm good, but
I thought Derek's
obviously it's
question might have
lying.
offended you.
Yeah, he might my question might have offended. He was like, "Art, see you later." No, but I was just kind of I was just talking about you have some really cool art pieces. I still want to kind of talk about your apparel, but you have really cool art pieces that you've released, including the slow play 001, which I really like. Do
Yeah.
you get a lot of requests on like the original pieces, and then I know you have some 8x10s and some 16x20 prints. Is that something that you're going to continue to release in the future here?
Yeah, I think so. So when I first started Radry, I was just doing some apparel stuff, but shortly after I started it, I actually took a creative director role at Ram Golf Club, if you're familiar with
Yeah.
Eric
Oh,
Lang.
really? Very cool.
Yeah. So I was doing some graphic stuff for him before Random Golf Club was even a thing. And he was following
Awesome.
Radry and was a big fan and told me about his idea for Random Golf Club. And I'm like, well, I'm a brand guy. Like I can start the e-com shop for you and make some product. And so that's what I did. And then that took off. And so much so that I actually took a job with them and moved to Texas for 3 years.
Oh, did
Um,
you?
yeah.
Like that's where he
So
that's I
Rad,
know that's where he's out of now. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah.
we met him
yeah, we did the
and he signed our bag tags and everything. And Derek was like so afraid to like go up to him. I'm like, fuck it,
Oh
I'll do
God.
it.
he's a super cool dude.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
he's
love
good
what he's
meat.
doing. But that's cool.
Uh,
Yeah, because he was from I think California. He's living in LA or Cali and then he moved down to Texas.
yep.
So
Yeah, I
that's
wasn't I
awesome.
wasn't about to move to California. This
No, yeah, I could
Midwestern boy, nah. I like to
One,
visit, but And
For
that's
those
about
who
it.
don't know, it's Eric Anders Lang.
Yeah, yeah. He's. Did you get a chance to do the golf deal in Wisconsin when he had it? Did you? I
I
think
did one. They've done a couple. I did the first one.
you did the first one.
Um,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, that was
yeah,
pretty wild. Golfing 9 holes with like how many people was it that we have?
100,
150, I think it was like 150.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. It was wild, but
yeah,
that's very interesting. I didn't know that. So
yeah.
you
So I
worked
did
with
the
him
logo. I
for
did the
3 years?
logo and all that stuff, and I
Interesting.
literally started it from scratch with them. And
Good for
then
you.
yeah, I was
That's really cool.
living in Texas. It was a great time. Met some awesome people during that. So Radry actually took like a 3 year hiatus during that time.
Yeah.
I didn't post and come up with stuff. And then I just got to the point where I was like, man, I really miss Radry and like making stuff for myself again. And so I moved back to Wisconsin beginning of last year. And sort of so Radry 2.0 by this point, after being gone for 3 years, I mean, there literally 100 other brands have popped up since then. And so
Mhm.
I kind of had to like refocus what this brand is going to be. And so I just kept it simple. I'm like, I love creating art. Um, and people love the original prints that I used to do back in the day. So I'm like, maybe I can lean into that a little bit more. It would be awesome to make original paintings and sell those and just kind of like make the art side of things like Radry's like niche differentiator amongst all the other brands. Because I couldn't just keep making t-shirts and hats and yeah, it's pretty watered down by this point.
I'd mentioned in the intro talking about how you've kind of said that you've described your brand as a art project. That was I took that from off of your website. You
Yep.
were I think it's an article from Hypebeast Golf, I think, right? That's where that came
Mm-hmm.
from.
Yep.
Um, can you maybe talk about some like memorable moments that you've had as it's like since starting Radry Golf, as far as maybe like I mean obviously the whole random golf club thing, that's really cool, but are there things specifically from Radry Golf that you've got to do?
Honestly, working with friends has been the greatest part about it, and making new friends. It's
Hmm.
always about the relationships at the end of the day, and
Yeah.
Radry is just an excuse to meet people, which is what I love the most about it. So like the slow play that you were talking about, that was probably my favorite project,
Yeah.
mainly because I got to work on it with like 4 of my good friends and make like a really sick video that's really dumb, but it was like the best time of my life making it. And we didn't release like 300 hats. We had one jacket, one painting, and a couple prints, and like that was it. So we spent all this time in making like this high production value thing and like this really expensive like one of one jacket, um,
Which is really
just
cool, by
because
the
we
way.
wanted to. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Just because we wanted to, and like that freedom was to be able to work with my friends is easily the best part.
That is really cool. You brought that up, and I think we got cut off as well. So I didn't get to hear the answer. But is it just kind of a one man show, or do you do? I mean, you're talking about working with some of the friends. Do you have like a big team behind you right now?
No, it's just me here.
Sure.
For that particular project, my buddy Peter, he makes one of like jackets like that by hand in his house. He's got like all the machines. It's like a mini factory in his house, which is kind of
That's
sick.
so cool.
Um,
Yeah.
so I just always wanted to work on something with him, and so I'm like, how would I make a painting? I'll photograph the painting. We'll print it on some canvas material, and then you use that and make a jacket. So then there's like this art,
Yeah.
fashion,
Wow.
hodgepodge.
Hmm.
We can make it a collab together, and we always wanted to do that, and we made it happen. So
No, it's really cool. So was it? Did it sell pretty quickly, the jacket and the painting? Because obviously, pretty much everything on your website's all sold out, which is really cool. It means it says a lot about your brand and your product.
yeah, the painting didn't. I kind of it was I didn't want to let it go, to be honest, like personally.
Yeah.
But the whole point was to come out with this painting. So like I put it up and we did like auction style, and
Okay.
I basically like was the highest bidder myself secretly.
Sure.
Um, Make
There's
sure you
nothing wrong
edit
with
this
that.
part out. I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
kidding.
yeah.
Uh,
No, that's so cool.
I don't know how to edit this part out. So
with the
that's
jacket, we did the same thing. We auctioned it off, and yeah, we had a bidder, and so we reached out to him, got his specs, and made him a one of one jacket, and it was pretty fun.
That's really cool.
I feel like we've been on such an art kick lately.
Hmm.
And I love this because I feel like art is one of those things that is super underappreciated because it's so different person to person, right? Like
Mhm.
somebody may look at my photography and go, wow, you do a terrible job, and that's fine. Somebody may look at your art and not get it, and that's still okay, you know?
Mhm.
But like I commissioned Doodles and Divots, aka formerly Golf Punk, to paint Derek and I, and I still forgot to bring that over.
They did pretty cool. Like it was like a
Damn it.
two canvases, so it's like the mics divided.
So
Yeah, it's pretty
it's
cool.
basically this,
Yeah.
right? Like I have a beanie on, and then the microphone is split in half, and then it's Derek with a hat. I've never seen him wear a hat, but that's okay. Well,
That
it was a safe part.
yeah.
So it's super cool. And when you put them together, you get one like big ass canvas.
I thought it was the
I
bogey
love
hat.
it.
That was written backwards for that episode, to be honest.
I thought it said safe part.
I don't think so. Could be wrong. But in any case,
Shit.
we're gonna have something set up though, like years in the back. It's gonna be a perfect backdrop for our event our studio that's eventually coming down the road.
I'm just
I
a
love it.
big fan of
Yeah.
like art. So the fact that we're starting to see art and golf kind of mingle into it or intertwine
With the apparel side too.
is super cool to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's quite a few golf artists in the space. I hope that my style is fresh and different, where it's kind of like a little more poppy, pop culture, less like landscape stuff.
I appreciate how vibrant it can be, but then I also appreciate like is it like the practice session or whatever it is where it's just
Uh-huh.
black with the white golf ball and the white bucket.
Mhm.
Like
Yep.
it's super simple and super contrasty, but it's still like super vibrant in its own way, right? So it tells the story you're going for. It still symbolizes and is synonymous with a lot of golfers out there. But like, looking at like the green one behind you, it's three shades of green, but it's, very calming, nice to look at. And then the one in the middle, super vibrant all over the place. It's fun how art can be
Yeah.
so different.
Yeah, it's funny. Some people, when I dropped that latest, was it range sessions, whatever I called it,
Yeah,
or that one
the
you were
range
talking, the
art
black whip.
collection.
Yep.
Yeah.
Some people were sharing it, saying, "I love all the artists that were involved in this." I'm like, they're all me. They look all very different, and it's because I'm kind of like going through a sort of midlife crisis art thing where if you talk to most artists and they say how to build an art brand, it's have a style that's recognizable, that makes things just way easier. And I don't have that. And so I'm like, I mean, I kind of do in like, I guess the style sometimes, but um, I'm just sort of going through it live and in person with everybody at the same time. And so it was really hard for me to do that. It took a while to like release and show these paintings because they can be very personal and they are
Mhm.
all very different. And people are like, what the hell is this guy doing? Like, why does this one look this way? And like, this one's all crazy and abstract. Like, what's going on? It was just something that I had to just accept. And I'm just like my Instagram page. My Instagram page is literally just stream of consciousness, design. If I have an idea, I'll go on Photoshop and I'll do it and I'll post it like immediately. It's not planned or anything like that. And that's sort of how the art stuff is too, where it's like, if I have an idea, I'm just going to do it and I can't be afraid to just show it. If, like you said, some people don't like it, who cares?
Yeah.
The
Mhm.
nice thing with an original painting is that it literally takes one person to fall in love with it for it to be worth it. There's only one of them. And so that's what I love most about it. And I just try and remind myself of that as I like create some of this stuff. It helps a lot.
So my cousin is an artist and she's quite literally like my big sister in a lot of different ways. Um, God, I hope Jordan doesn't listen to this. I don't think Jordan listens to us. Anyway, so we're planning this big shindig, our second one. And I reached out to her. I was like, "Hey, would you be willing to donate, a painting?" And she's like, "What'd you have in mind?" So I showed her some holes from the course we're going to be hosting at, and she's painting um some of the more signature holes in her own way and putting her own little design tweak on them on a canvas. And that's something that somebody is going to win via a raffle, as in we're just going to randomly draw names, but congrats, this is your prize, this is your prize. And she was so scared for that exact reason, right? A lot of
Mhm.
artists putting yourself out there, and it's hard for a lot of people. She's just had a kid, she needs something to do. And I said, hey, why don't you paint this? I sent her a gift card so she could go buy the materials. That way she didn't feel like she was doing it for free.
Yeah.
So I sent her like a $50 Michael's gift card. I was like, go
Go do
bananas.
your thing.
Go get whatever you need, whatever. And she messaged me the other day with what it looks like. And she's said she's never been so happy and so carefree in years because of what the art is allowing her to do.
Hmm.
And I thought that was probably the nicest thing I've ever heard her say. And it wasn't even about me, but I kind of felt like it was about me because it's like I had like awakened this beast inside of her again. Um, so I'm pretty pumped to see how that turns out because she has all these ideas, right? And half the issue is like I was telling you, is getting the ideas on the canvas in her case. So I'm pretty excited to see how it's gonna turn out and everything. And somebody's gonna go home with a really cool one of one art piece that I don't even have that I kind of want to keep. So I've already seen
That's
pictures.
amazing. Yeah, sometimes it just takes somebody to, to give that little extra nudge. And like you said, it awakens something in them, and hopefully they have the confidence to just keep it rolling.
Oh, she's a hell of a painter too. It's just she's gotten so busy with a kid,
Life.
a
Oh yeah,
divorce.
I
Yeah.
feel that.
Life.
Yeah, it's like stuff
Yeah,
gets in
life.
the way, and she's just like, I need something to do. And that was when we were like, hey, why don't we do raffle prizes? And I was like, hey, go buy some art supplies. Here's a gift card, and just paint me a picture I can give away. She's like, really? And I was like, yeah, here's
Hmm.
$50. Go nuts at your local Michael's in Indiana and go have a ball. She's been up all night having so much fun. And
Yeah,
I was like,
it's
that's
such a
to me, that's the beauty of art.
yeah, exactly. It's such a great escape. It's, the reason we play golf a lot of times, just escape what's going on around you.
Hmm.
Looking at a blank canvas is super intimidating. It's like standing on a tee box with, water right, trees on the left, can't go long, yada yada yada. It's a very similar feeling, but like once you get on there, you start making some mistakes, you know that you can cover them up, and sometimes mistakes turn into, you know, like Bob Ross always says, it's just happy accidents. It's
Yeah.
similar in golf too. Some of the most memorable golf shots you've had are ones that are from the trees.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, or from a fairway bunker or whatever. Um,
It's
so
funny you
there's
mentioned
a
that.
lot of similarities.
Yeah, I was literally gonna ask you that question. It's like golf is an escape for me, and I'd imagine. Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
nobody's seen it. So I'm showing Derek for the first time.
it's really
So
cool.
I picked out the
Kind of hard to see.
God, I mean, you can kind of see it. That's like the start of it. Um,
Love it.
Picked out the font, and because we're hosting with Odin, she did the splatter
That's
from
sweet.
their box.
I love it.
So that's the start,
That looks really good.
and it's so cool. And I don't want to give it away.
Maybe
So
you
if
can win it.
You
would
just
that
do
be
what I did.
wrong?
Yeah, I
Just
say
do what I do with
just
my painting and
actually
just
doing a bit. Yeah, we're
just
actually
wing
doing
it.
an auction. That's weird. Down one it, but
That's
no,
kind of weird.
no, I was gonna kind of going back to like that's like our escape. Golf's an escape. It's a mental, get away from everything. And is that kind of the same thing with the way you put together some of the art that you create, or the designs that go under your apparel?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Um, Especially with painting. It's very like I have a formal graphic design like background. So on the computer, it's very easy to Command Z your way
Mhm.
out of things.
Sure,
Where painting, it's forced me to not be able to do that. Like once it's on there, like
it's
that's
there.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's
Oh,
gotten me out of my comfort zone. Um, and it's challenged me in a lot of ways to sort of take the art stuff that I love, but also I still have a brand that I want to build through apparel at the same time. So it's how can I sort of take the same inspirations and ideas and bring it over to the apparel pieces as well. Um, so like I have one example, like I can't do full interior printed paintings on all my stuff. It's just, not feasible.
I
Um,
mean, I mean, You could.
Technically,
Yeah.
I mean, I could.
You could.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could.
I get what you're saying.
So like just simple tweaks is almost harder to do. Like minimalism is really difficult and it's really challenging. So I'm like trying to figure out ways to do that within apparel, because apparel is way different, right? Like, I got the slow play print right above my head.
Yep.
It's very loud, like you said, but on a wall, it's totally fine. When you're talking about apparel, a lot of times it has to be very wearable. So it's like the minimalist side of art, which is very hard for me, but I love it. It's like I'm making a short sleeve jacket right now. It's going to be going to production here soon and just approved the sample, but it's got a quarter zip. It's like beige, and then the pockets in the front, one is like makes like a circle, a half circle, and the other one makes like a square. So you put like your hands in the pockets like cool. That.
Yeah.
So it's like that's the Radry flavor, where it's like here's what you would traditionally see, and now I'm gonna give my little spin on it with the Radry, circle square. So those are sorts of things that I'm trying to do more of on the apparel side.
It'd be really cool if the zipper was like a squiggly line. I don't know if that would work with a zipper, but it'd be kind of neat.
That would be.
I don't know. It's the thought that counts.
That'd be pretty cool though.
It's the thought that counts. Yeah. Maybe I could be a designer.
Yeah, or just use his logo as the little piece,
like the zipper pull.
Yeah,
yeah.
But, what is your favorite piece that you've put together as far as apparel? If you have a favorite, or if you can narrow it down to maybe one or two pieces.
I personally love the gang hoodie you're wearing.
Yeah, the geese.
That one's sweet.
The geese, it speaks home to me, It's very Wisconsin to just have geese shit all over the course.
We have the same problem. Yeah, so it's very relatable.
Yeah, so I've been doing geese stuff for a while, and like one of my first hats had geese on it too. So it's just like this never-ending battle between us and the geese, like gangs. Yeah. So the geese, I would have to agree. The gang hoodie's good.
The Midwest Nice hoodie is pretty sweet too. I like that one.
Yeah, just because it has Midwest on it, gotta love it.
Yeah.
I think I messaged you because I was really upset that I wasn't able to get one. What the hell?
Sorry, excuse the noise here. We got
Jesus.
I didn't even hear it.
Oh, you can't. Oh, that's good. We've got like
trust me.
Sounds like 18 fire trucks going by right now.
I know I messaged you. I was really upset that I missed. I don't know if you saw it, but he did needlepoint floral covers.
Mm-hmm.
I think I did see him on the
website. Wanted one so damn bad because one, I love floral.
Big floral guy.
I think I mentioned it, but like the podcast stuff that I have to bring over every week.
It's in a nice
floral bag. I think that's all I have. Oh no, I have really ugly foam posits from Nike, floral. They're god awful, but I love them.
I think I'm all out, but if I find one, it's all yours.
I love them.
Yeah, because I was looking at the gang the blade cover that you had on there on the website too. But is that like?
So hold on, I have a question. This is definitely one of the most Midwest things I've ever asked. In Wisconsin, is it duck duck gray duck or duck duck goose?
Oh, that's a good question.
It's not gray duck. I know you guys are gray duck. But...
Yeah, it's gray duck. Is it just a Minnesota thing?
It might be.
Because everyone's like, dude, what are you talking about? It's definitely duck duck goose.
No, dude, it's duck duck gray duck.
It's a Minnesota thing. Sorry.
Yeah. I wonder who started that.
Me.
We have to figure that out.
Although I cannot
get to the bottom of this because we're the ones that look like idiots because everyone else we're in the minority there.
See, the issue is I die on certain hills, and anything that's Minnesotan, I die on. Like everyone's like, what's the difference between like a casserole and a hot dish? I'm like, nothing, but it's a hot dish.
Yeah, different names, same thing.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny. One product that might be my favorite, that I just thought of, which maybe it's not my favorite because I just thought of it now, is the Zozo Championship hat that I did. So early 2018, it would have been 2019. The Zozo Championship reached out to do like a collaboration, which was super sick opportunity being so young, and I hadn't really put out too much by that point. So it's just really simple. Yeah, once you find it, it's like the first O is a circle, the second O is a square, and then I did the squiggly line below Zozo, and then it says championship. So anytime I can do a really simple
You
spin on a
understand this
design
hat
like
is like
that.
5 years old. It's
Yeah,
probably
but it
not
said, I
on
think it
his
was on the. You said
website.
it was on the website though, right?
No, it's not on the website.
Oh, it's not. Oh, I thought you said if you're looking on
No,
You'll
the
have to
website.
you'll probably have to Google it.
so why are you still looking on the website?
Because I'm looking at his hats. Is
Jesus,
that
dude.
okay?
No, we have a
I'll
podcast
find
to
it.
do.
Really, you're on your phone 24/7.
I have to pay for
Yes.
parking.
Well, here's the sweatshirt version of it. But you can
Oh,
see
that is.
Ooh.
so it's a circle square with the smiley below it. So
I
like
like.
anytime I can do a spin on something and keep it really simple still, that's a huge win. So I was really proud of that one.
Yeah, I have to pay for parking because your apartment doesn't let me park in the
I'm
parking lot.
sorry. Yeah, that
So
sucks.
yeah, I am on my phone to make sure I don't get towed.
A lot.
Which makes sure to imagine if I have to call my boss, be like, hey, the company
My
vehicle
barber got
got
towed here the
towed.
other day. It was brutal. I felt so bad for him. It felt so bad. It was an expensive hair. I was gonna. I mean, I pay him well, but yeah, I felt so bad. But yeah, it's a little weird over here for parking. But you're talking about the Zozo? Do you get a lot of like requests to do a lot of collaborations?
Um, Not recently.
No.
Since I don't know, it's been difficult since I took such a long hiatus.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's a slow burn to sort of get back into the industry again with so many players. I do have a lot of friends in the industry, and I'm going to be doing some collaborations, but
Yeah.
nothing on Zozo's level yet. It'd be awesome to get back into some of those big collabs.
Or you're like Instagram too. It's like it's such a powerful tool, but like if like when you take a couple of years off, like you said, like all of a sudden now there's like 20, 30 other brands that are like in the space that are
Yeah.
really taking off. But you do have a really good following, which is really cool. How do you like
This reminds me of the goose that bit me.
that's pretty sweet. Um like how do you kind of like when you're talking about like the art pieces, like some of those like weekend or those what do they call them, like the keyboard warriors that just like to talk smack and all that. Like how do you I'm sure you get a lot of like really good positive feedback, but what's your how do you kind of like block that out if you do get somebody like look at your art piece and they're like what the heck is this kind of thing, like because it's a very vulnerable thing, right?
Yeah, it is. Luckily, I haven't had any of that, mainly because I haven't had anything like go viral where like a lot of my stuff is being seen by people who aren't familiar.
Yeah,
Um, so most people who have been following me have been, 2018 again, so are
sure.
very familiar with who I am, what I'm about, and even if they don't like something, they're gonna keep it pretty chill.
Yeah,
Um, but I am waiting for it because once you start getting some haters, then you're doing something.
I was gonna
So
say then you really made it, right? That's a good
yeah,
thing.
so
Yeah.
I'm waiting on that.
Is there anything that you have coming out here soon? I know we were talking about some of the collections you've released. um you've had the patron members only, the range art collection, the slow play. Do you have anything coming up soon?
I will be going to Morris, Illinois, keeping it in the Midwest. Gonna hang out with my friend Patrick at his shop, Fields Day. Doing like a Masters pop up there, so I'll do some Masters prints. I'm gonna do a Masters original um, by Saturday. I
You
gotta
say it's
crank that one out.
I was just saying, talking about masters. I'm like,
Hold on.
dude, that's
Have,
getting
have
here soon.
you
I know.
have you
I know.
started?
No.
So for
But
reference,
that's the
it's
beauty of it.
Tuesday.
Yeah, yeah.
The pop up is I'm gonna be there on Saturday, so I have until
You
Saturday.
have some time.
Um, I
Just
got
do it
some
on
time.
Say
Maybe I'll do it live in front of people. No,
I
Yeah,
was just gonna say, do a
I'm
live.
not
Okay.
there yet. I'm not there yet.
Yeah,
Um,
the big
so
old
I will.
smiley
I'm gonna
face.
knock that out. A true artist, procrastinates. So I'm excited to just wait and just see what happens.
see what happens. I love it. What was this pop up for specifically, or where is it at? I know it's in Illinois, but
So
like
yeah,
at a
he's
golf
got a
course?
retail shop
Okay,
called Fields Day, and he's got his own brand Fields Day. Um, so he just
very
invited me
cool.
down, and so yeah, I'll have some prints, and I'll put the original up, and whatever prints that don't sell, I'll put up on my website after the show. So we'll see if there's some
Dude,
left. And then yeah, I'm gonna try to hit like the home goods section pretty hard. Like my ashtrays, when I came up with those, did pretty well.
yep,
And I feel like apparel it's always going to be there, but it's one of those things that you're competing with a ton of people.
sure.
Um, so I'll
That
still
was
do
pretty
that. But
cool. The trip. Yeah, that sold out. I mean, that sold out too. That's a really cool item.
yeah,
Like
the
you,
ashtray, I want to do more stuff like
yeah,
that for sure.
yeah.
I'm working on it's like a 3D. figurine. If you guys are familiar with like Cause or Bear
Mhm.
Bricks,
Mhm.
um, you guys will see it. First one to see it. I had the sketch on my
Oh, that's
feed.
really cool.
Oh,
Yeah,
do
so
you
it's like
see
a
the little
Radry
golf, the
figurine.
little flappy
Yeah.
thingamajigs?
So it's
Yep, he's got a golf glove on, golf glove holding a
Oh, I
ball.
was talking about
Yeah.
the
little
shoes.
flaps, the little things on the laces
Oh,
on the
on the shoes. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
That's so
Um,
cool.
so that's gonna be like a little 10-inch guy, like completely resin, sampling pretty soon. I'm very excited about that. So the whole goal with that is similar to my prints, where it's like they're numbered,
Sure.
limited. I'll do the same thing. So it's, you know, maybe I'll make an all black one where there's only 10 of them. Maybe I'll like
I
paint
need
on
more
some of them, maybe
space.
101s.
I just need more space.
Are you gonna do like kind of like yeah with the bricks with like the 400%? I'll make them bigger. You're just gonna start off
Yep.
with the 10-inch size and
I'm gonna start
that's
with 10. They're
yeah,
so
and just see how
expensive.
it goes.
So like
I'd
the big
imagine.
boys, I don't know.
Yeah,
That is the dream though. That is the
sure.
dream for sure.
Those are
Making
really
four
cool. I think
figure.
that would work out really, really well. I mean, hopefully,
I want one.
yeah.
Put it
Yeah,
on
you
my
already got us
desk.
down for yeah.
Put it on my desk.
Like
I'll put it right next to my Daniel Arsham Hot Wheel thing I bought. Thing is
Yeah,
sick.
see, stuff like
I
that.
don't know if you
Stuff like
follow
that is
Daniel
amazing.
Arsham or
Oh yeah,
not, but
of course. Yeah.
amazing.
See,
Mind blowing stuff.
collectible things like that is that's the stuff that I want to get into some more. So
I missed so with Hot Wheels, he released a Porsche and then like an apocalyptic car. I don't remember the name. I didn't get the Porsche. I wasn't fast enough. I love Porsches to the point where I totaled my car like 2 weeks ago and I told Derek I should buy a Porsche. And Derek said no, that is a bad financial decision. And I said, fuck it. I am full of bad financial decisions at my age. So I ended up with this other Daniel Arsham car and it sits on my desk and I'm like, I love it. Oh, he's so cool.
yeah, big inspiration for sure.
Yeah, sorry, my ADD is
that's
just like,
totally cool.
but yeah,
We're
he told me no, I shouldn't buy a Panamera S.
not right now, not right now. Down the road. Is there anything that maybe you want to add that maybe we didn't cover as far as apparel or anything? We just have a couple rapid fire questions, then we can kind of wrap it up. But it's been awesome time talking to you and learning the story. Said learned so many new things. We followed you for such a long time, but hearing the actual story of how it
I think
came
I've been
about is
following
really
you
cool.
since 2018.
Yeah.
Maybe
That's
not the
amazing.
podcast page, but
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Personal page,
sorry
yeah.
I disappeared for a while, but I'm fully
Okay,
back
that's
now.
you're back now. Yeah.
and you're local.
And you're local, yeah. We'll
Yeah.
have to definitely try to get out and play some golf. That would be sweet. Uh,
Absolutely. Anytime.
what brand would you like to collaborate with?
Other than us.
Yeah, other than us, of course.
But we would love to
Ooh,
collaborate. Imagine some like save par Radry art pieces.
That'd be pretty sick.
That'd be
that's
cool.
Once we get a studio
I could
space.
have an eye here and then an eye right here.
sick. I think it would have to be like some weird brand, like recognized, like Nathan's Hot Dogs or something, like something that
Oh,
you would like something you wouldn't expect.
Sure.
If it was in the apparel space, I think a brand like Kid Super would be really cool. They're a huge inspiration for how they blend art with apparel. They're more like high end fashion, but
Which apparel brand was it? Sorry, I didn't hear it.
it's called Kid Super.
Super.
you've probably
Definitely,
seen them but didn't know the name.
Yeah, just say
Yeah.
the
yeah.
name doesn't sound too
I
familiar.
think Radry on like a Kugel bottle would be sick. And it's local
Hmm.
for you,
I like
not for
that.
us. I don't like Wisconsin, but I'll go to Wisconsin for you.
I mean,
Uh,
Minnesota, Wisconsin are. I mean, we might as well just join at this point.
they're free. Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can have we get the best of the cheese and the beer, and then you get a billion bottles of water over here.
Yeah. You get all sorts of water.
And a bunch of geese. Just saying.
Some more geese. Yeah.
I mean, Lake
What's
Michigan's beautiful, but we'll take some more lakes.
what's your favorite Instagram account? Could be golf or non-golf related. Just like what's one that you pop on and just enjoy it on a daily
Oh man,
basis.
that's a tough question. I might have to look.
I sent you one of
I
mine.
think
Yeah.
I think one that probably it's probably just like some dumb meme pages, to be honest.
Those are sometimes the greatest though.
You
Those
need
are
to
always fun.
follow
I
kids
know.
getting hurt.
I think my favorite ones, I don't know any of the
My
names
favorite.
off the top of my head, but it's like old what what's that app, that website, like old teenage girls used to like post pictures on. Oh my God.
Like Tumblr.
Tumblr, like old school Tumblr has there's like Instagram pages now that are kind of like that where it's like one picture is like a old like Big Bird, like messed up looking Big Bird, and then the next picture is like completely unrelated. Like you'll get a picture like this, you
Oh
know.
yeah.
Do you ever follow I didn't know this, but like John Cena has an Instagram account where it's literally just random pictures and it's up for interpretation. And that's his whole thing is he posts everything to be interpreted by the
No.
viewer. Look it up.
See,
I
I love
will.
that.
It's on Instagram.
I just love the randomness. Those ones I love following those.
You looking up John Cena?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, it's that one. See, read
Welcome to
it.
my Instagram. These images will be posted without explanation for your interpretation.
So
Enjoy.
just yeah, so like there's that one.
Stone Cold show up at Mania? Question mark.
Like it's just a bunch of like random like it's underdog. It's a cat with coffee. And it's all just meant to be like up for interpretation. And it's funny because he's a superstar
That
Yeah,
is good. Um.
that's amazing.
Okay. Favorite golf logo.
other than yours.
Ooh. It has to be apparel or just like in golf.
Anything.
Anything golf
It could be a
related.
golf course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably this one right here, Whistling Straits.
That was what
Ooh.
I picked that one time. Yeah, that's a great. That's an awesome logo.
Oh God, obviously a little
Yeah.
biased, but
Yeah.
I
I like it a
love the
lot too.
Whistling logo. Yeah,
Have you had the chance to play it then? I know it's semi-private, I
yeah,
think. Right? Yeah,
it's public. Yeah,
it is
I've played
public.
it twice now. Amazing.
Yeah, it looks amazing. It
Very
looks incredibly
scary to play it,
difficult.
but
Yeah, I was gonna
yes,
say it looks incredibly
very
difficult.
difficult.
Just got two more questions for you, Dom Dom. You can finish them up, my friend.
Yeah, so first tee, all the pressure's on. What's your walk-up song?
Oh boy, Chicago Bulls theme song for
Me and this
sure.
guy are on the same wavelength, man.
You
I
no,
tell you.
it's just because you guys are so old.
We're in the same. Yeah, yeah, that could be. It could be
You said
same
that
age,
before?
same age group. Yeah, both those picks have been mine. Were you listening to that episode? No, I'm just kidding. It's just such a classic theme song.
It brings so. I mean, back in college, that used to be our beer bong song. Anytime I
Oh,
played, yeah.
yeah,
So
that was your jam.
yeah,
It made me feel really young when you were like, yeah, man, in 2011, graduate or was in college or whatever, working on that. I'm like, damn, 2011, I was a freshman in high school.
that's crazy.
I
Yeah.
broke my ankle that
Getting
year.
old.
That was a fun year.
All right. So Dom and I can finish the last question. We always ended on a food related question. You can ask it however you'd like to ask it, my
Yeah, I'm
friend.
not gonna ask
Yeah.
that one because
Yeah.
like we could.
Yeah, we can switch it up.
So without telling us where you are, because I don't want to like give everybody your information. If we go to your neck of the woods in Wisconsin, where are we gonna go eat?
Easy. There's a place called Legend Larry's. They
That
started here.
sounds legendary.
Yeah.
It's
Legend.
it's chicken wings, and
Heck
it's
yeah.
just like it was like a small mom and pop restaurant here in Sheboygan where it started, and they would go to Buffalo, New York, and have go like compete in the wing eating competitions, and they would win often. Um, and so they're literally legendary, and they are.
Hell of a logo. It's a wing with
That's a sweet
wings.
logo.
That's
Dude,
my
I
favorite
yeah.
logo.
There you go.
Legendary Sheboygan Falls convenient located. All right, that's sweet. Serves the
They
best.
have a couple locations now, but the OG one's in Sheboygan, right
So
down
are
the street.
these buffalo wings? Are these what kind of flavor? Are these original original flavor? Or what are we talking
Or are they
here?
like naked?
Yeah, they just naked
They no, the sauces
sauces.
are the
Okay.
real deal. Yeah.
Okay.
I love how we're asking when you could just click
I
on
know I
menu.
could, but I really wanted to learn from him. He's the one that
No, that's
recommended it. So
there are some places that do, the one flavor or whatever, but no, their sauces are all good.
I think Runyon's like that.
DOA, Scary Larry, the extra hot
Raspberry
national award-winning sauce with
habanero.
straight heat without
I can
sacrificing.
I can handle some heat, and hot garlic is the highest I go. Those other ones, no chance.
No chance. They're that. Oh man.
That raspberry
But what?
Spicy
habanero
bacon
sounds good.
barbecue. Okay, what's your
Yeah,
favorite
that's a popular
flavor?
one. It's
Okay,
hot garlic. That's what I
hot
get
garlic.
every single time. But what you
Ooh,
do is, are you
sweet
guys big
pie.
Bloody Mary guys?
No,
I don't mind them, but I don't ever really order
I
them.
don't
But
like
I
tomato.
mean, I don't
Okay.
mind the taste of them. I don't mind them, but
I find
See
that I
the
make a lot of enemies because of my taste buds. So I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Is that a
but
Minnesota thing that you don't like bloodies?
No,
No, that's a pretty popular.
my buddy
Okay,
loves bloodies. I just don't like tomatoes.
got it. So the key is at Larry's is to get a Bloody Mary, and they'll put like a dash of like DOA in it or something, and it's solid.
Yeah, I could get behind that. I
I'll
could
eat
try.
like the beef sticks out of the
Yep.
bloodies, but you'll never see me drinking
Drink a
them.
bloody, sure. Which is weird. Like I'm not like I don't really like tomatoes either. Granted, I like we like like pizza sauce and like spaghetti sauce, but
I don't
I
like
do
spaghetti.
like actually like a V8 or like a tomatoes, which is really
Okay.
weird because I don't like tomatoes.
I'd rather just have a Red Bull.
But but thanks so much for taking the time and joining us, man. We really appreciate it, and we're really excited for your future, what you got going on, and we'd love to have you on again down the road here.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. It was a lot of fun.
I
Yeah,
can't wait to
Play
see
some
that
play some golf.
day of painting.
yeah, yeah. Let's
Oh, I know.
let's let's play some golf. Let's try to figure out a date. And we'll make it happen.
Or just come to the shindig.
Or come to the shindig in Minnesota. Yeah, we got people coming from all over the place.
July
July
20th.
20th.
It's a quick drive. Yeah, let me know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Love to have you. Be awesome. Cool. We'll
Sweet.
talk soon, man. Take care.
All right. Later,
All
guys.
right. Thanks so much. Yep. Nice to meet you.